Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Morning Cello. It's great to be with all you folks again. Here in the sunny, it's really nice out here in Portland today. It's a little cold. Cold as in like 34, which is not that cold compared to what the people in the Midwest are experiencing right now. My family's from the Midwest, and they're just getting murdered by by the polar vortex. And so at least it's not quite that cold. I believe it's in the fives or tens or negative 10 right now in Indiana, where my family's from. So yeah, we're supposed to get a little bit of snow here in Portland, which is not entirely unusual, but it's not often. And so this next week, I think Wednesday through the weekend, we're going to have snow most days, and so that's pretty exciting. Hopefully there'll be enough for Yo-Yo to go out and make a snowman, or throw some snowballs, and enough for Luigi to go out and experience the snow. He's never experienced the snow, so yeah, we'll see how Luigi likes it. You may not be able to see him. His fur is so white. We might just lose him in the snow once he goes there. He has this white furry rug that he lays on, and he just kind of disappears because he's got this curly white hair also. As many of you saw yesterday, I posted on Facebook some updates from the studio. I have started construction on that with my little helper Yo-Yo, who is quite a helper. The main idea is just to try to keep him from getting injured. He wasn't there for the majority of it, and so when there was hazardous dust or really sharp tools, he was not in the room or anywhere near where he could breathe the drywall dust. And so but he helped me with some things there. He swung a hammer around. There's a little video I have of him running across the room and just whacking on the wall with a hammer, which is pretty cool. I'll make sure to post that as well. And also the update, tomorrow from morning till night, I will be putting labels on all of your mugs and t-shirts and getting them out. It's past time. Somebody said, just go ahead and get on it. And so I think I have some reasonable excuses. The moving and parenting during the pandemic with no babysitter or help, and so there's been that. But it's time to get that stuff mailed out and shipped to you, just because you've all been so amazing, and so I look forward to getting you that. And again, apologies on that. It's just kind of this thing that's weighing on me, and I've got the studio construction and the baby and the move, and anyways, there's enough excuses. It will happen. And yeah, it's just great to be here for another day, another cello, as they say. I don't know that anybody's ever said that. We just said it today. Another day, another cello. And so I'm in a pretty good mood right now. Had enough sleep. Sleep's been a little bit better these days. It goes in and out. Yeah, Yo-Yo's, he's never been a great sleeper, but he has some better days now. So if I don't look completely haggard, it's because I probably got an extra 45 minutes to an hour and a half of sleep, which makes a huge difference. And so, yeah. What else? Yeah, I'm just really pumped about, right now I'm kind of spending most of my time with the construction of the studio. And so there's a couple cool things I have planned for it. I want to when you start getting quotes from people about how much things cost for houses, I'm like, that's never going to happen. So I'm pretty handy with a hammer and saw, and so I'm going to kind of go over the top on making the studio look beautiful, so I can convince my wife to let me do the rest of the house over the following years, maybe like a 5-year project. And so one of the plans is I'm going to go get some old salvaged barn beams and add those to the walls and make these supports that go through, sort of come out of the drywall. And so there's this exposed wood, and then lay some resalvaged barn planks in between that. So it's like this really cool wood roof. And then I'm going to cut this is all stuff that's really affordable you can do on your own, like get an old beat up stained glass window and then put it between two pieces of 3/4 inch fiberglass and cut a wall that looks out into the basement, this room, and so that the studio has an extra room, but it's got a cool piece of stained glass through it. And so just kind of going over the top on the design there, but using really affordable materials. And then, again, convincing my wife to let me redesign and renovate the rest of the home. One, because I think it'll look nicer if you've got somebody who loves the space doing it and they have extra time. It usually ends up better. And also, we just having somebody else do it is way too expensive. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get playing for you. It's just really lovely to have all you here again. I just love it. Warms my heart every time that I turn the camera on and 100 people show up within just a couple of seconds. So thank you again. And again, just a reminder that we're not out of this weird, strange time yet. I think there's some better times on the horizon, but just to treat yourself nice, not to let yourself get overwhelmed by your thoughts, but to be able to step back and observe them, and to not be swept away by them, and to when those moments arise that are sort of difficult, to just sit and breathe. And it's never helpful, and I need this more than anybody else. It is never helpful to get frustrated or angry or overwhelmed. It'll make any problem 10 times more difficult. So having the ability to kind of simmer down and look at something from a new approach or a new perspective is always important. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play it for you and stop talking so much. And thank you again for being here. My name is Joshua McClain. This is Morning Cello, broadcasting live from Portland, Oregon, and I'll talk to you soon. Try to stop there for a second and fix my pickup. I'm using a pickup that just kind of sits right inside the bridge there, and it slipped out. So taking a break here. Wow, lots of people here. This is great. Thank you for being here. And yeah. All right. I was trying to think, do I have any stories to tell? I don't have any stories to tell right now. But maybe later. I'm going to keep playing. Going to take a quick break to say hello and just see how everybody's doing. And also to plug one thing really quickly. At the end of the month, my wife, Rosario, and I will be doing the Somatic Sound Journey again. It's a somatic expressive arts workshop. And so it's a movement workshop paired with the expressive arts, writing, drawing, poetry, and then also having the opportunity to go into breakout rooms with some other people, some people you may know or may not know, to share your experience. And so it's sort of a therapeutic process, and that'll be on February 28th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And so there should be a link there pinned in the comment section. It should be the first link that I put there. Pardon me. Let me get some tea. A lot of folks that attended from Morning Cello last time really liked it, and some of those people are here in the room today. And so if you enjoyed it, please leave a comment and let us know what you thought of it. We'd love to have all of you there. It's something that we'll be doing every month. This month's theme is expanding perspectives, and that's sort of the idea that there might be things, issues, problems that there may not seem to be a solution to, but if we're able to look at it from a different angle or a different perspective, those solutions actually might be easier than we thought. And so let's use creativity to approach difficult parts of our lives, or just things that we can't quite find the answer to. And so I would invite you to please join us for that. And monthly, it's going to be a pretty cool concert, and we'll be doing it a workshop, not really a concert. But the cello will be featured heavily. I'll be playing throughout the workshop, both through the movement section and then also during sort of the drawing and poetry sections. And then, it's going to be a very, very cool thing. Is another cello being fixed? Yeah. Oh, Sonia's asking me, is the other cello being fixed? The other cello is being fixed. I don't have an ETA on it, but yes, it will be fixed. And I'm rather enjoying this cello. The only thing I'm not enjoying is this new pickup. It's really sharp in terms of it's really kind of, I'm sure you're noticing, it's really kind of a scratchy kind of sound, which I don't dig. But it's only for a little bit longer, maybe another couple, and also won't stay in the cello. Maybe another couple of weeks, and my cello should be ready to go. And so it had a small but major crack here. Yo-Yo knocked my cello over, and it was just a little teeny tiny crack, but that's actually a very expensive crack to fix. And then had these two gigantic cracks from another incident. I've only dropped a cello once in my life before, so in the 25 years I've been playing or so. And the two times I did it after that were like within a week of each other. So, but anyways, yeah, it's being fixed. These giant cracks are actually very easy to fix. It's this little one that's difficult to fix because it requires a special repair because underneath here is what's called the sound post. It's sort of the soul of the instrument. It's a wooden dowel that connects the front of the instrument to the back of the instrument, and it's just placed there, and so it's just held down by the tension from the strings. And so since there's so much tension on it, they actually have to carve out almost all of the thickness of the cello behind there, and then make a plaster cast of the front. They'll basically take the whole front of the cello off and make a plaster cast, and then use that sort of cast to figure out the curve of the new patch to glue in there, because it has to be perfectly against the wood. So it's a pretty complicated process. So that takes a little while, and it should be here probably by March, I imagine, if not sooner. And but I met a really great luthier, Edward Giesman Violins here in Portland. Really nice older guy. He had a dog in the shop, which is always a good sign when you've got a dog in a violin shop. And his wife was there, and I went in with Yo-Yo on my back in the backpack, and they hadn't seen their grandchildren in a long time, and so they were barely even looking at me. They were just looking at Yo-Yo, being like, "Oh my gosh, he's so cute," because they hadn't seen their grandchildren in so long. And so, it's kind of hit or miss when you go to violin shops. Violin shops are my least favorite and most favorite places in the world. Least favorite because about 90% of them they're really snooty. It's like if I were dressed like this to walk into like a Mercedes-Benz dealership, and they're like, you don't look like you should be here. And so that's kind of how a lot of violin shops are, because they have like, a cello. They have cellos that are worth $50,000 to $150,000, and so it's like they really only want to be dealing with the bigwigs, but they also have to deal with like students who are renting instruments and boneheads like me who break their cello. And so I went into one violin shop and didn't have a good connection, and so I went to this other one, and it was really nice to be connected with these really kind folks who were really into my son and had a dog running around, and I'm sure the craftsmanship is excellent. So it was a really funny way to find that shop, was go into one shop and be like, it's one of those violin shops that's kind of snooty. And then I went to the other one, and it was like, oh, I've only found two like that. This one, and then another one in San Francisco called, Rowland and Feller, a very excellent violin shop there. But it's not fancy looking, which is what you're kind of always looking for. It's the really fancy looking ones that are kind of snooty. And that one's like up in the upper floor of this building. You go through this like really teeny little staircase, and you go up there, and the whole place is just like packed with instruments. You can barely move around. And it's a German guy who works on the instruments, and he's excellent. He's just excellent. He just grabs your instrument, takes it, gives it back a week later, and it sounds awesome. And so, that's kind of the luthier that you're looking for. So anyways, there you have it. You'll get the same thing with guitar shops and, automobile shops. It's just it's a thing that happens. It's always nice to run into great proprietors and good craftsmen. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to play a few more tunes for you. Just again, one more plug. Please sign up for the Somatic Sound Journey at the end of the month. I would love to have you there. Also, if you'd like to support this show, you can do so. There are some links there to PayPal and Venmo. This is a totally free show, but it's also a listener viewer supported show. So if you'd like to support Morning Cello by making a contribution or signing up to become a monthly patron, please do so. There are, how about naming your cello when you get it? People really want me to name my cello. I've never named my instruments. I'm not sure why. Hopefully someone will name it for me. Yeah, I've never named any. I think I named like my first guitar, and then I was like, I don't know if I need to name my instruments. And so maybe somehow it'll get a nickname that sticks. We'll see. Well, that's it for the music today. I was going to leave a few minutes at the end for questions if anybody had any questions they want to ask. I haven't done that in a while. I think I've only done it once, and so 1 out of 90 or so sessions. And so if anybody has anything they want to ask, I've got a few minutes. Yo-Yo's at school, and so let's do it. Yeah. Emma McPartland wrote a long thing. Rebecca Dreen wrote something long. 7 or 13 years, you playing violin. I never dropped or damaged my violin. My parents had a little. Oh, Todd Boston, thanks for watching, buddy. I hit a few out of tune notes there. Todd has this 3-year-old named Max, and Max and Yo-Yo get together and play, and they have a really, really good time together. And so, hey, Todd, nice to see you. Thanks. Christy Michelle Giron, pardon me if I pronounced that incorrectly. How long have I been playing? I started when I was 9, and I am 36. I'll be 37 this year, and so 26 something, 27 years, but not constantly. Like, I'm not, there were years where I didn't play very much at all. Right now, other than morning cello, I'm not playing very much at all, and so I kind of go through phases of things that I get interested in. Right now, I'm very interested in building the studio, and then I'm also feeling like I'm getting into the phase of wanting to get into really good shape and start practicing lots of martial arts. And so, but then, once I get the studio built and it's time to record, I'll get back into playing cello. And so it's kind of, I have not consistently been playing the cello for 27 years straight. I wish I had. I would be able to play a lot more difficult repertoire, but yeah, anyways. Elizabeth Fox says, why do I feel so much more relaxed listening to morning cello? Is there a physiological response to cello, or is this your specific technique that relaxes me? Well, the cello specifically is a very humanistic instrument. It's very anthropomorphized in the way it looks. It looks very much like a human torso, and it has a very similar range in terms of the lowest note to the highest note, and also the timbre, the vocal. The sound quality is very similar to the human voice, and so that might be why the cello is a relaxing instrument. And I tend to try to play relaxing music during these morning cello sessions, and also the music is kind of cathartic for me, so you might be getting that same kind of release. And so, yeah. Darian Graveshark, have you discovered anything cool while remodeling, renovating? Black mold, hidden treasure? No, actually, the house is in pretty good shape. A little bit of water, but very little, and especially for a 82-year-old foundation, it's not bad at all. No, yeah, I haven't found like any bars of gold or anything like old bootlegged bottles of whiskey or anything like that. I wish. Diana Press is asking, have I found any human bones? I haven't yet, but I'm about to dig into the foundation a bit, so we'll see if I find something there. Kelly Liz Blankenship is asking me, have you ever played violin? I've tried. I have held a violin. The cello is such a larger scale. It's like going from guitar to playing mandolin. The intervals are so tiny. I was not successful in playing the violin. My great-grandfather, my mom's father, was a great violinist, and his violin is floating around somewhere, and no idea where it is. But they keep saying, old great-grandfather's violin is floating around somewhere. I was always trying to figure out where it was, and they're like, some old aunt has it. I'd love to get it and get it restored. Maybe if Yo-Yo plays, he can play his great-great-grandfather's violin, but I just can't quite get my hands on it. Nan Holda, do you feel the shutdown has helped your music career or has it hindered it? I think the shutdown has certainly helped my. One of the silver linings has been morning cello. I would never have started this live stream, and I never would have reached as many people as I have without the lockdown. I never see. That's the whole thing about changing perspectives, right? I was actually kind of thinking like maybe I should give up on music and do something else. But then something like the pandemic forced a lot of us to have a different perspective. And so, yeah, I think that I now have the ability, because of all of you, having been able to reach you through the internet and Facebook and being able to place ads to see morning cello, that, yeah, the lockdown and the pandemic has most certainly helped my music career. And I know that's a difficult thing to wrap your head around because so many people have lost their work too. And so I'm very cognizant and aware of that, that sort of disconnect there, that it has been really great for both Rosario and I, but that has not been the case for many people. So do you have a favorite philosopher's work that you have read? Ooh, Gichin Funakoshi. He's a karate master, and he has a book called The 20 Guiding Principles of Karate. That's one of my favorite philosophy books. That and Ueshiba Morihei was the founder of Aikido, and I like a lot of his books as well. Somebody's name is Another Klein. I hope that's not. I wonder if that's the Kleins that I know back from Chesterton. Yo-Yo Ma, is your son named after him? No, he's not. His name is Ioan. It's a Welsh name. It's pronounced Ioan. I'm pretty sure the first time it came into our sphere was we were watching Vikings, and one of the Vikings' name was Ioan. And so that's maybe where it came from. But then people have a hard time pronouncing it, and with Rosario's accent, people have no idea. They always say, "Oh, Jan, his name's Jan." I'm like, no, it's Ioan or Ioan. And so if you would just say his name's Yo-Yo, and the one time we were in the hospital when Yo-Yo had a really severe reaction, the doctors ended up calling him Yo-Yo. They kept butchering his name. We're like, how about just call him Yo-Yo? And so that's kind of where it came from. Kathy Briggs King says, we'll still be listening after the pandemic is over, right? You're never going to be able to quit. LOL. I plan to continue being online and playing for all of you and being accessible and performing for as long as I can, for a long time. So even after the pandemic, I'll be doing this type of thing, and hopefully having some more offerings outside of morning cello, like classes and stuff. And so, yeah, I understand. It's gonna be tough to escape morning cello, and so, yeah. Maybe take one more question, and then we'll call it a day. I have to go get your CDs. Not your CDs, your shirts and mugs shipped out. I might actually sign off before you start asking me questions about that. Okay. Alrighty. All right. I will see you all on Thursday. Take care, and I'll see you then. Bye. Oh, Emma McPartland is asking, how's my finger? My finger's better. I put some Neosporin on it, and it healed pretty quickly. I think it had gotten infected. I'd been using my hands to grab drywall dust, and it had gotten in the cut and everything. So, Leslie Newberry, any suggestions where to start on online cello lessons? I don't know. Shoot me a message, and I'll see if I can find you some links. All right, take care.